My name is Kinji Chen. Today we're going to discuss about Gantt. I'm from Team 7, and this is created by Kinji Chen and Sean Galen for video and PowerPoints. However, today we're going to discuss about what is Gantt, history of Gantt, and I will show you a simple example of the Gantt and how to create a Gantt. Also, we're going to discuss the advantage and disadvantage of the Gantt and the reference readings for people who want further knowledge about the Gantt. However, okay, what is Gantt? Gantt is similar to the bar chart. It's list task down from the left side and it grabs time in the mark off across the tops, uh, which is here. And Gantt is commonly used in the project management. It is one of the most popular ways to use the show activities, tasks, or events displayed against the times. On the left side is the activities, along with the top side is the suitable time scales. Each activity is represented by the bars, and the position of the lens is reflecting the starting dates, the end dates, and the durations. This can allow people to uh, see what is the various activities are, what is the activity begins and ends, how long the activities has been scheduled to the last, where activities overlaps for each others, and by how much, the starting dates and the end dates for the whole project. Okay, and the history of the Gantt chart. The first Gantt chart was devised in the mid-1990s by Karl Amikis, which is him, and he's a Polish engineer who ran a steel works in southern Poland and began interested in management ideas and techniques. Somewhere about 15 years later, after Amikis, Henry Gantt, he's an engineer Henry Gantt, he's an uh, engineer and a project management consultant, devised his own version of the chart, and it was this that became widely known and popular in Western countries. Consequently, it was Henry Gantt whose name was become associated with Gantt of this chart of Gantt chart. And originally the Gantt chart was created by hands, so each time when you change it of the project, it's necessary to redraw on the chart, and which limits the useful and the how convenient the chart it is. However, nowadays the project management as the computer of the stuff and the technology advance, project management becomes easier. People use Microsoft project and Excel's or the project uh, called MindView to create a Gantt chart. However, the MindView 6 is only associated with PC, so people who want to create a Gantt chart over the MacBook is not allowable for these softwares. And this is a simple example of the Gantt chart, how it looks like for the lengths, durations, starting dates, finish dates, cost, also have priorities. This is the bars shows you the overlaps and the durations. Now, finally, we're going to discuss about Excel's how to use Excel to create a Gantt chart, because some server software is complicated for the purpose of the creating due to the time frames. So in case of the save times, I have already created the tasks, starting dates, end dates, descriptions, and duration for this task associated with my project for this one. And to start, we're going to click insert. And for this purpose, we're going to create a stock chart, which is on this one. Click start chart, and with right hand click it to hit select data, and we click here add series. The name is starting dates, the Y which is going to be here, and we add the other series of the durations, and the duration dates is here, and we click OK to see this is the basic Gantt chart. This is duration is starting dates and end dates, and we right click again. We select data for descriptions, which is here, to make convenient for people who to see what is the task about. This is neat, and we right click again to format this Gantt chart, which is no filling. I'm sorry, for this one is we click format here because it's Microsoft and the Mac is totally different. And once we click on that, we click the shape purely, click no fields for this one. Click group bar and click no fields. This is showing the durations on the Gantt chart territory. See, here's the duration dates. Okay, for back into our advantage and disadvantage of the Gantt chart. The advantage of the Gantt chart is increase the creating a picture of the complexity, which diagrams think as pictures, so will be for therefore if we can see complex ideas as a picture would be help us to understand it easier and organize your thoughts, which is if Gantt chart force you to divide each problem so and then each problem will show you how it is, so you can have a organized thoughts to do things. He demonstrates that you know and where you are going, so like what task has been done, what task should be done on futures, and it help you as set your realistic time frames. If you task got delays, it also the whole Gantt chapter delays it. For example, here if we say how okay the time get pushed on to 13th, and then we can see the chart got moved to 13th. But here's if for example if we move to 23rd, this is also going to be expand to 23rd, so we can see very clearly by this to see to manage the project very easier, and this is highly visible. But that says it can be useful to represent a chopped or large version of it where everyone can see it. The disadvantage of it is can be extremely complex. As you know, that the see this is example of a project who has been done. It is very complex to create this huge project by the Gantt chart, so it is somewhat disadvantage because too many color, too many the dates going on. If we move one, the whole project going to be moved. So the size bar does not indicate the amount of the works, which means if people who have slacks or something happens, it cannot identify by that. Then they need to constantly update, which means if a task like get delays, it needs you to constantly update the works. And it is difficult to see it in the one sheet of the papers because some project needs is huge. You cannot even see it on here for like list everything out, like minor or big events of it. Okay, so to conclude our videos, this is the reference reading for people who wants to further discover of the Gantt chart.